I almost wanted to live off the wild after this movie, but then I realized I didn't. Captain Fantastic is written and directed by Matt Ross, who's more known for his acting in movies like The Aviator and American Psycho. Captain Fantastic also stars Viggo Mortensen, Kathryn Hahn, Steve Zahn, and Frank Langella. And let me just say, this is the better of the two Captain movies that have come out this year. Viggo plays a father who's left to take care of his 6 kids after his wife gets sick, is in the hospital. As well, he and his family have taken to living in the wild, deep in the forests, living off the land and just completely out of touch with reality. And it chronicles the struggles of not only the socially awkward kids and just completely out of touch kids as they attempt to adapt to city life and corporate America, but also the effects that outdoor living may have on the kids and their safety. For me, this movie shined in many different aspects.
Favorite movie of the year so far.
There you go. Favorite movie of the year so far. For one, there's a power struggle basically through the whole movie between Viggo and Frank Langella, who plays the father of
the wife.
Yes, the father of the wife. Frank wants the kids to go to school. He wants them to live a more sheltered,
the norm of society.
The norm of society. Viggo don't want that.
He's homeschooling them and teaching them things, and people don't think he's teaching them, but I mean, he is.
Yeah, he's homeschooling them, which makes them book smart. It doesn't necessarily make them street and socially smart.
But they're really smart kids.
Mm-hmm.
And he also does like exercises with them, so like...
He wants them to live with like a rigorous physical and educational structure, but also at the same time eat off the land naturally. He's basically a very intense hippie, and it just becomes a fight between the far left and the far right side, and both are really extreme in their own ways, which in turn makes them both wrong, but at the same time both are right in their own aspects. So it's like a combination of what each one wants them to live. Neither is ever really completely right, and there's a good balance of each side of the spectrum, which lends itself to good writing by Matt Ross and good performances. There's a good mix of humor, like really well-timed humor, because most of the film is essentially
sad.
A drama and sad, touching.
I mean, I teared up probably like,
deeply moving.
I teared up probably about 3 or 4 times throughout the probably more than that, but I mean 3 or 4 times that I can remember. It's really sad, and it tugs, and I think that's why I think it's my favorite of the year, because it's the one movie that I can think that has made me feel that emotion that this movie had made me felt.
Yeah. The soundtrack really perfectly captures the setting and the mood that it needs to really elicit that mood that it's looking for, which, like you said, really helps to tug at the heartstrings.
Mm-hmm.
You can't talk about this movie without talking about the performances. Viggo plays a really deeply flawed but strong, especially with the circumstances that he's living under. He's got the pressure of taking care of 6 kids, his wife's really sick, his father-in-law, and pretty much his whole family breathing down his neck.
About how he's not teaching these kids right, how they need to do this instead of what he's doing, and they're not understanding what he's doing to help them, and and he's not understanding what they're saying, and it's just very like I'm right, you're wrong kind of thing throughout the whole movie.
Yeah. All the kids are pretty good. Frank Langella, he's good. He's just really a cookie cutout of really what middle to upper class America is like. Closed-minded, have to follow the social norms. My real big gripe about it, there's a few subplots that get thrown in there that are muddled, and they don't really follow those or finish them really at all. They're just kind of left there at some point. But I do think it was a little too long. Probably cut maybe 10 minutes.
I disagree. I think it was perfect. I think if they would have added more of the things that we're talking about that they missed out of, then yes, it would have gone a little bit too long, but there were a lot of parts that were just kind of like, okay, we're going to throw this in, and goodbye.
Throughout the movie, though, I would have rated it probably a little lower, but there's a specific scene that happened which really opened my eyes to just the whole movie and explained, at least for me, just how beautifully poetic it is. So much great imagery, and there's just like a beautiful scene in there near the end that really just poetic and beautiful, and really made this movie a lot better for me. Captain Fantastic is really just a emotional roller coaster that'll hopefully keep you invested. I enjoyed it.
I mean, obviously I enjoyed it a lot, so.
Let us know down below if you've seen Captain Fantastic. If you haven't, let us know what your favorite Viggo Mortensen performance is. Can't go wrong with Aragorn.
No, you cannot.
It's really good in the road too, but this was a top performance for sure. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. We'll see you next time.